It's minicamp and OTA season, and today we're looking at the Denver Broncos and getting another look at Bo Nix, watching him throw the ball around, work through some drills. Before we dig in, though, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're looking at minicamp, OTAs, training camp, rookie camp, workouts, whatever it is on these players. We're looking at practice, what they're doing behind the scenes. Those quarterback battles, those rookies, guys on your favorite team, those guys you're getting ready to draft in fantasy football soon. You want to be on the know what they're doing right now? Click that button. Stop missing out. We're looking at Bo Nix. Sling the rock around. 6 minutes and 14 seconds. We're going to loop this and keep talking ball. Let me know what you think about him in the comments below, but here we are. Here we are. Slow-mo. This one's from the Denver Broncos. Getting it downfield. There we are. There we are. McLaughlin. That number was rolled up a little bit for a quarter second, and it kind of tricked me for another player. I had to keep my mouth shut. Bo Nix right there. Stepping into this role. That's one thing we're seeing different in these clips compared to last year. I still got last year's clips. I still got all of them. That's one thing we're seeing different from last year at this time, is just him stepping up in the leadership position. That is what we're seeing. And I love it. I love it. You know what? I like underdog stories. And he wasn't really an underdog story first round pick, but compared to what you're hearing on social media, what you're hearing during the Senior Bowl time and everything else, and him just stepping up and him just doing good in training camp and just beating the gatekeeper quarterbacks there, and then having a good season, and now we're rolling into year 2. I mean, you got to root for that. I root for those types of players. I root for UDFAs. I root for players that the media, or it feels like the consensus, at least around me, is counting out. I root for those players because it's just fun to root for. I mean, rooting for like Patrick Mahomes would be just boring. Rooting for the top players like Hulk Hogan back in the day was just boring to me. But someone like a Bo Nix, who was the first-round quarterback that everyone casted aside, a lot of people, not everybody, but what we saw from him, and I said this this time last year and even later than that, is this is a quarterback with a lot of experience at the college level, and you're seeing that. You're seeing him get the ball out quickly. He's smart with the football. He doesn't turn it over. You saw that with the Broncos last year. You saw that in college. 2 different programs. We leveled up throughout our career. And we have experience. We did not come out early. We made sure we were developed when we came out. Very interested to see how Troy Franklin develops into year 2. I'm very interested to see how that looks. This cameraman had some problems, but you get to see the air. You can see air on that one. Getting downfield. There we are. There we are. Looking, going through. Boom, getting it out. Everything I've heard, report-wise, he's looking sharp. He's looking good. Looks like a vet. Looks like a vet. That's what I'm hearing from when I'm digging up clips. Bo Nix looking like a vet. Tosses. You can see there's not multiple quarterbacks with them trying to figure it out. That's their guy. And we know that, but that's their guy. Getting the reps, getting the opportunities. Everything's on Bo Nix. I think it's a good sign that he was able to start the season, his rookie year, as the starter, and not one of the other jabroni quarterbacks. I think that was a very good sign. Here's him coaching again. Here's him stepping up, letting people know what he wants, what's going on. That's something. You know what? I know it's clips and we're only seeing a small snippet of what's going on, but I'm sitting here every day going through these quarterbacks, going through wide receivers, running backs with you guys, other positions, and I do not see that clipped up too often. Doesn't mean it's not going on with other teams, but I'm going to say this. He's stepping up into that role. That's one thing you can definitely say. He's definitely stepping up into that role. I think if we can get one of these other wide receivers step up, Bryant, Franklin, and Valet, if we can get one of these guys step it up, it's going to be nasty. Evan Ingram is a nice get for this team. Evan Ingram's good for the short to intermediate. Bo Nix will play for the next down. He won't push it downfield if it's not there and have an outlet like that. Another thing, RJ Harvey, and we've talked about him a bunch of times, but that speed, that explosiveness, his ability to catch the ball downfield just gives him another weapon. Down in the outlets, you got your outlet weapons. If Franklin can take a step forward, there was a point in the season over multiple games where Franklin went on the field. It wasn't on the field like a ton. There he is right there. But he was getting targeted on like 20+% of his routes. Nix does look his way. Due to the report from Oregon, but still, it's not like he's a bad prospect. They traded up to get him. In this year's draft, he'd been more coveted because it's a lighter wide receiver class. Last year's wide receiver class is a lot like this year's running back class, where it was just deep with talent from top to bottom. This is a quarterback prospect on a team here that's looking to make a step forward. Defense, solid. You got a run game that got bolstered with Harvey. You just signed J.K. Dobbins. And that's another indicator of what this team wants. They want some outlets in the passing game. J.K. Dobbins, I get it. Injury history. Not like what he was when he was a few years younger. However, he showed some promise last year. And that's the guy with a lot of heart just added to this running back mix. And Audric Estime out of Notre Dame. If we can step it up a bit, I know he didn't kill it at the combine. I know he didn't kill it last year. But if we can step it up a bit, showcase what we showed at Notre Dame with that vision and footwork. Again, I'm talking about players stepping it up, not what we saw last year. Just play into our potential. That could be another hitter. McLaughlin's always been a dog for this team. Maybe we can get better there. Maybe some of these players can step it up a notch, or maybe 2 or 3 notches. If you get that from some of these prospects with what you added with Bo Nix developing, this offense could get you excited. I think Bo Nix, for what he is, NFL-wise, takes care of the football. Smart player. When I look at him, fantasy football, seasonal leagues, Moneyball option, there was a run of games where he was a startable guy we were looking at off waivers, a Moneyball play, week in, week out, looking at the matchup, seeing what we want to do when it came to streaming. He was there. He's got a floor with rushing production, too. He had that in some moments. The thing is about this is when you're looking at Dynasty and you're looking at the younger quarterbacks, palatable, super flex. I don't think people are really getting rid of their quarterbacks, especially at a younger age. You might be able to catch them, though, in a creative deal. I won't say discount. Because if I got a young quarterback, the league's established, and it's like pulling teeth trying to get that trade done, I'm going to try to hold you over a barrel. I'm going to try to at least get something that I want. That's the thing about this. I'm at least trying to get more than what they're valued at. That's it. If the league's like that. So I'm very, very tiptoeing the line when I talk about Superflex trades due to that. Phone booth value is usually not correct in 50 to 30 or 60% of leagues. A good portion of it. Other half, there's some Superflex leagues where trades just go ham wild. And other ones it does. So I like to talk broadly, and it really depends on the league, history of your league, how trades are happening. And it's just because I've seen too much. I've been in the wars of Superflex. But young quarterback on the rise, safe with the football. Very safe, smart, sound. That is what we said a million times last year. especially as we got deeper into training camp. And what really turned things around, it was turning things around the whole training camp, minicamp series. Like, he was winning most of those practices among the quarterbacks. One of the Denver affiliates were keeping track on their scale of which quarterbacks was winning, because it was something everybody was paying attention to. And he was winning most of those. But it was that joint practice with the Packers, 2-minute drill. Bo Nix was in there. I think he was like 7 for 7. It led them down the field, and it was money. And that's what you were hearing from the beat writers. And I had the clips from that from last summer. That's when you knew he was going to get the job. That's when you knew. Before they declared it, you knew he was getting the job. They were letting it play out a little bit more just in case. They were making sure. I mean, he's a rookie, and plus you have the time. You're going to use all your time. Look at the hamstring pop out on Harvey. Watch. Let's go back. I want to show you this. I want to show you this right here. We always talk about Quad City, but we got some hamstring city right here. Right here. Look at the hamstring just hanging out right there. The quad's popping too. We're just in stance. Compact built running back right there. Compact. He's got sweet feet. I did a video on him maybe yesterday, day before, whatever. He moves laterally so well. Like, he puts that foot in the grass and cuts. He just covers more distant, more fluidly compared to other running backs. You see it, but the other running backs are making different cuts, going to different holes in the drill, so it's a little bit different contextually. But you get the feel. You get the feel. And it's on different drills and stuff. He just covers a lot of ground moving laterally. He's so good catching the ball in the backfield. Bo Nix, I'm looking for him to take a little step up this year. I look for him to be a good quarterback for a long time for the Broncos. I don't see the wheels falling off. I think he's too smart, too sound. I think he's more willing to kill the down than make the mistake. And that's going to just keep you in games. That's going to keep him from making those young guy mistakes. That's the thing about that. He's not going to be overzealous pushing it downfield. He'll just hit that outlet, live for the next down. And you got the defense to be able to do that. And we're going to develop to where we're going to be able to be more reassured going downfield too later. But he's just so smart. He's so smart and snappy with the football, working through his progressions and reads, that it's hard to see him not taking a step forward. Like, this kid works hard. You can definitely see it through the progressions from this year to last year. You could definitely see that. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.